So what's new in the world? Well, a lot this week, but in this video, there isn't a lot of Trump stories, which usually there is because it's always wild in the US, but you guys commented in the last video and told me to make some stories about different countries, and I'm making that today. And a lot of stories you guys told me to do are crazy, so I'm really excited for this video. Yeah, if you have any suggestions for the stories that I should make on Thursday, please comment them because I will read them and I will make them, but let's not waste any time. And let's get started with the first story of today. We're starting today with a crazy one because scientists in Switzerland are building computers made out of living brain cells. It's crazy, like this new type of computer is called biocomputing or organoid intelligence, or OI, because AI wasn't enough. Now we have something called OI with computers that will have real brains. But you're probably curious, like, are they actually real brains? Well, technically, let me tell you how. So basically, some scientists got skin cells from some people who donated them anonymously, then they changed those cells into a type of cells called stem cells. And stem cells, if you don't know, are a special kind of cells that can be changed into any type of cell. And they basically put those stem cells in a dish and they let them grow for like several months until they became tiny brain cells. And those tiny brain cells are called organoids, but because I don't want to keep saying the word organoid because it's a weird word, I will just say it's a mini brain. So that mini brain is connected to electrodes, which are tiny wires, and those wires send signals that will make the mini brain light up. And from those signals, the mini brain learns and it becomes a computer, which is crazy. What is even crazier is that those brains die after like 4 months because they don't have any nutrition because they don't have blood vessels, so it's hard to feed them. But when they die, they give off a big burst of activity, which is almost like a last spark when someone dies. So yeah, those computers that they made are technically alive. I know, it's weird, but at least it's not out yet and scientists are still testing how to make this better, make this into a real thing. But seriously, why? Like, why are scientists even trying to play God? What's wrong with the computers that we have right now? I don't know how I feel about this, but I want to know what you think. Like, is this something that is actually necessary for the future? I don't know. Like, I think it's weird, but let me know what you guys think. And let's go to the next story. So Diddy, you know Diddy, got convicted, and even though people thought he would stay in jail for life because of all the crimes he did, but in the end, the judge only gave him 15 months behind bar plus a $500,000 fine and 5 years of supervised release after he gets released. He was already in custody for 13 months as he was arrested back in like September of 2024, so 15 months already count in his sentence. So now he will be in jail for only 37 months. And a lot of people think that, yeah, this is really short, like because of all the horrible stuff he did. But surprisingly, Diddy's legal team isn't even happy with this conviction and they will appeal it. Like, honestly, I don't know. This past year, we kept hearing a lot of weird things about Diddy, but in the end, he only got 50 years. So, like, I don't know, is his punishment too short or did he get what he deserves? Let me know what you guys think, and let's go to the next story. So I want to ask you guys a question, like, what do you think of speed cameras? You know, the cameras that check if you're speeding or not, and if you're speeding it gives you a fine? Because Canada's thinking of removing them. Well, not in the whole country, just in Ontario, but still, it's kind of big, and I want to know if this is a good idea or not. Like, I want to know your opinion on this. Back in 2019, when Ontario's premier, Doug Ford, put those speed cameras, he was like, I'm doing that so that we protect people, because yeah, some people are stupid and when they drive, they go fast and they basically kill people because they don't know how to drive. So Doug Ford was like, we're putting those speed cameras near schools and community safety zones so that at least those areas are a little bit more protected. Which kind of makes sense in my opinion. Like, you don't want someone driving like crazy where kids are coming out of school. Because again, some people are dumb and they think that when they're driving super fast, it's cool, even when they risk other lives. Which is really not. But now we're in 2025 and the same Doug Ford who put those speed cameras in the first place was like, you know what? We're gonna remove those speed cameras. Why? Because he said it's just a cash grab. Like, yeah, Ontario made a lot of money from those speed cameras, and apparently there is one speed camera that issued like 65,000 tickets and got like $7 million in fines. So yeah, like they got a lot of money out of it. But it did protect people. But Doug Ford was like, you know what? This is a cash grab and Ford wants to be popular with the people. So he was like, yeah, we're going to be removing those speed cameras. Again, even though data shows that people are driving slower in those areas because of the speed cameras. But Doug Ford was like, we're still removing them. And instead, we're going to be putting big warning signs to tell the people to slow down. Because yeah, like when someone sees a warning sign, they're like, yeah, I'm going to drive slower. That never happens. At least he said he's going to be putting some safety tools like speed bumps and other tools, I don't know what they are, to at least make those areas safer. But still, the city's mayors that had the speed cameras are really mad because they're saying that those speed cameras actually protect people and they're making those fast drivers go a little bit slower. But it's probably going to be gone in Ontario because Doug Ford has a majority government, and when he says something's going to happen, it most usually does. But what do you guys think? Like, are speed cameras just a cash grab? Like, are they just there to get money out of people? Or do they actually protect people? Like, let me know what you think. And let's go to the next story. So the US now is going to be Qatar's bodyguard. So what actually happened? Well, Trump signed an executive order to protect Qatar, and now the US pledges to guarantee Qatar's security against any external attack. So if any country attacks Qatar, the US will help Qatar against that country. The US said that any attack on Qatar will be treated as a direct threat to the US security. But apparently this was triggered when Israel attacked Qatar's capital city back in mid-September, and Qatar was obviously very mad at that. So after the strike, the US tried to repair its relations with Qatar, and the US's Secretary of State Marco Rubio even visited Qatar to reassure them. And on October 1st, Trump signed the executive order, but this is not a peace treaty. It's just an executive order, so it's more one-sided, like from the US. Like, the US is now going to protect Qatar, but what is Qatar actually going to do? Well, they paid a lot of money, but it's more one-sided when it comes to defense still. In the end, the US will protect Qatar, but also, I forgot to tell you, America does have a huge military base in Qatar, so maybe it wants to protect that, maybe it wants to protect its own base in the Middle East, or it's actually friendly with Qatar. But honestly, I want to know your opinion. Like, what do you think about this? Is this a good deal, or is there something tricky going on? But anyways, let's go to the next story. So Japan might get its first female prime minister, which is huge in Japan. What actually is happening in Japan? Well, Japan is facing a lot of problems right now. A lot. And Japan's prime minister, Shigeru Ishiba, resigned basically. Like, he quit because he wasn't popular and his party lost a lot of seats in the parliament. Because he resigned, his party had elections to see who would take his place and become the prime minister instead of him, because when he leaves, they basically get someone else from the same party. And the person who won was a lady named Sanai Takaichi, and she won the most votes in that party. And she's expected to become the prime minister pretty soon, like I guess next week or something. And that would actually make her the first woman to be the prime minister in Japan. But the problem is, the situation in Japan right now isn't the best. So it's going to be really hard for her. Like, for example, her party is already divided because of a lot of past scandals. So now Takaichi has the responsibility to fix it. And now she has to fix the relationship between Japan and the US. Like, I don't know, there's some drama going on. She has to fix a lot of things. But who even is she, and is she able to do all that stuff? Well, she's kind of capable. Like, she's 64, a very conservative leader, and she's very close to the former prime minister Shinzo Abe in her views. And she had like a government position before, like I think she was a minister. So yeah, like she's possibly able to do all of that, but still it's gonna be really hard because the situation again in Japan is not the best. But again, the first prime minister in Japan who's a woman is a huge thing. So I really hope it goes well for her. And anyways, let's go to the next story. Okay, so this is actually a funny one because North Korea is punishing people who are getting breast implants. Yeah, so apparently in North Korea, getting breast augmentation surgeries to have more curves means that you are getting corrupted by capitalism and that you are a threat to the socialistic purity. Yeah, that's what they actually said. And North Korea even started having undercover agents to watch for women who might have unnatural bodies or people who changed their bodies kind of thing. And they're also investigating doctors who are doing illegal secret surgeries. And the Ministry of Public Safety even issued emergency crackdown order and told the police to monitor the socialist beauty procedure. Kind of weird. They just basically said that women who got breast implants would face punishments like criminal charges, labor camps, public shaming, and long imprisonment. And the same thing would go for doctors who perform those surgeries. But even people were pressured to report on their neighbors whose bodies changed suddenly. Like, if you look at your neighbor and they look a little different, you have to tell the police. Which is crazy, bro. Like, North Korea never stops surprising me. Anyways, let me know what you guys think and let's go to the next story. So people were so mad at Xbox that the subscription cancellation page crashed because of how many people went to cancel their subscription. But what actually happened? Because I actually forgot that Xbox existed. I didn't know it's still relevant, but apparently in the past 2 years it was popular, and it's because they changed their Xbox Live Gold with something called Xbox Game Pass Core, and it gave you between 25 and 50 games and the ability to play online games. So it was really popular and it does sound cool. They had a really popular plan called Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, and that gave you hundreds of games, so people loved the idea, and you'll know why this is important later, but this was a really popular idea. So they rolled out this whole new subscription at the end of 2023 kind of thing. And in February 2024, Xbox celebrated that Game Pass had reached 34 million members around the world. So a lot of people loved the idea. But Microsoft, which owns Xbox by the way, was a little greedy, because in the summer of 2024, the ultimate plan, which was $17.99, became more expensive and it became $19.99. You'd be like, Omar, seriously, it's only $2. And I get you, it's not much in the beginning, but then Microsoft became greedy again. Because in early 2025, Microsoft said that all Xbox consoles, accessories, and games are gonna be more expensive, and they were blaming the tariffs because of this. Seriously, a lot of big companies now blame tariffs so that they can find an excuse to increase their prices. Even if the tariffs don't affect them, they'd be like, tariffs exist, let's increase our prices. And Microsoft was one of them. Anyways, people got a little upset, but they still didn't really care that much. But then the breaking point happened on October 1st, when Microsoft had the audacity to increase the price of the Ultimate subscription from $19.99 to $29.99. That's like a 50% increase. Like, seriously, that's like paying $360 per year for that subscription. Like, it makes no sense. But Microsoft was like, oh, there will be more extras like Fortnite Crew subscription included with this, and a Ubisoft Plus Classic subscription, plus like cloud gaming and reward programs. But still, people didn't really care about all this. Like, they were fed up. Like, seriously, gamers want two things: good games and reasonable prices. But that $30 per month thing was not reasonable at all. So people rushed to cancel their subscription, and it was so bad that Microsoft's cancellation page crashed because of how many people wanted to cancel at the same time. And people online said that this used to be the best deal in gaming, but now it's the worst. And people felt betrayed by Microsoft. They felt that Microsoft lured them with low prices at first, and it made it seem like the best gaming deal ever. But then they just switched on them and increased the prices. So it's understandable to feel betrayed by that. But what do you guys think? Like, do you think Xbox is actually still relevant even after all of this? Like, do you think this will be the end of Xbox, or this is just a little hiccup in Microsoft's gaming journey and they're gonna come back? No idea. Like, I forgot Xbox existed, seriously. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and let's go to the next story. So OpenAI, which made ChatGPT, made a social media platform, but only with AI videos. So think about it like TikTok, but for AI videos. That's crazy. And it can create full videos with sound and voices from just text prompts, like just as if you're typing to ChatGPT. but you're typing to SORA 2 now, that's the name of the platform, and it can make you a video. And this app was only available in the US and Canada, but in one day, it became the most downloaded app in the iOS App Store in the US and Canada. But there comes a lot of problems with this app as well, because people now have the ability to make videos about anything. And you're asking, like, why would that be a problem? Well, because people are problematic. Because they started making videos about Epstein and Trump. But that's not all the problems, because OpenAI is also facing a lot of lawsuits. Because apparently OpenAI, which made ChatGPT and Sora 2, is using a lot of work of people, like people's work, without even asking for their permission. So there will be a lot of copyright lawsuits coming to OpenAI. So now OpenAI has to figure out how to make their filtration system better, because people can do anything, and how to not steal from people. Both are almost basically impossible. It's still crazy to me that we have a social media platform. It's still crazy to me that we have a... That's actually scary. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's really scary. But what do you guys think? Like, do you think that this is gonna be the future? Like, AI videos? I don't know. I really hope not, but we'll see what's gonna happen. Anyways, let's go to the next story. So you know how doctors have horrible handwriting? And we all joked about it before? Well, India's taken it seriously. Apparently a judge in India ordered doctors to write clearly in capital letters. Like, it's huge for doctors to actually write in a clear handwriting. I don't think that ever happened. But why did the judge say that? Well, last month the judge was working on a huge case and he was reading the medical report for that case. But when he was reading the report, he was like, I can't understand anything. Like, he couldn't read a single word from that medical report. And he was like, if I can't read that report, what about patients? What about doctors or nurses? Like, it's gonna be really hard to read that. The judge made a big order and said that all doctors must write clearly and in big capital letters. And that's not it, because within 2 years, all medical prescriptions should become digital. But that's not all, because he even told the Indian government to add handwriting lessons in medical schools so that doctors would know how to write clearly. Like, it's crazy that doctors need lessons to write. Like, I know that they know how to write, but still, that judge was really serious about making doctors' handwriting clear. But remember, he did say that he wanted all prescriptions to be digital, so what's the point of having digital prescriptions and giving handwriting lessons? I'm not sure, but that's what the judge wanted. But the problem is, the doctors there weren't really happy about this. And some were saying that they're seeing a lot of patients every day, and because they're seeing a lot of patients every day, they have to write really quickly because they have to get through a lot of people, which in my opinion is a weak excuse. Like, seriously, you can write in better handwriting even if you have a lot of people. But yeah, that was one of the excuses. But there was another excuse that kind of made sense, because they said it would be really hard for the government or the whole country to basically have digital prescription, because a lot of rural areas in India don't have reliable computers, electricity, or internet. So switching to digital prescription immediately is super hard. So that's kind of reasonable. And someone actually died back, I think, in 2014 because of bad doctor handwriting. Like, someone was reading the prescription and they didn't know what to get, and they gave that person the wrong medicine and the person died. So yeah, it is an actual issue. But what do you guys think? Is this something that needs fixing, or people already got used to doctors' handwriting? You know what? Who am I kidding to? No one knows how to read it, like doctors' handwriting. Fix that issue. But anyways, guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for staying till the end, and let me know what stories should I talk about on Thursday's video. And again, you guys are amazing. You're the best. Love you all, and see you all on Thursday.